Alright, after setting up everything here, as you can see there's a lot of parts for this little guy. Roughly close to over 100. But I'm pretty much committed to do this, so there's certain parts that I had to look in the manual to see what I have to do to paint them and readjust them. And like I said before, there's some information that I found that I may want to do with this kit. Let me demonstrate. Okay, and what you're looking at is scans from Dengeki Hobby's October edition. This is actually the 1/44th scale Quanta, already professionally built. The one thing I noticed on this scan is this one has a couple of decals along the arm, waist, some on the legs, very light decals, possibly from decals from the original 00 Exio kits. See, here's the part where I'm a little bit more worried, is the head. Actually, you know what? This doesn't justify the kit that I'm looking at right now, because this is actually the 1/100 scale version scratch built. So that's not what I want to see. This is what I want to see. This is the 1/44 scale. Okay, back to this. Now, the head unit does not have the front and back. Where's my pointer? It does not have the front and back, I would call it sensor pod painted in blue. Covered in blue. You have to paint it, as you can see here and here. So obviously, when I airbrush the entire part as chrome silver, I then have to, of course, cover this part with tape and then do another pass with the airbrush. Now obviously I'll do this with the parts not assembled yet. I'm gonna have difficulties sanding this down because they are very small, and I think I'm gonna break them off, but I'm gonna try it. Nothing new about the body. I know that the chest wings here has to be sanded down, so I'll see what I can do with that one. There's some other stuff that they do, like filling in. Here's what I was talking about, where this part here is white and the rest is blue. Other than that, I don't think anything is going to screw me up if I do this correctly. Ooh, what was that? What was that arm? Interesting. Someone actually put something there. Alright, never mind about that. Now this page, of course, covers the actual painting, and as you can see, they're using Gundam markers for the trim of the front and back sensor pod. Using a little hobby knife, they scrape off what bleeded out. Now here, he decided to use clear tape. So, you know, he cut it up in pieces, he applied it, and then in the next page, of course, he begins painting it. He doesn't airbrush, he actually does standard brushing. The eye slits is something I'm going to have to do normally. I'm not going to do what I did with the previous kit, just to get it over with. Now here's the one thing that I'm interested in doing. The clear part that's in that ball, that's in that joint, you have to apply the decals in there so you can see the reflection. But in this case, he uses some sort of clear reflectant tape. Doesn't show you what to do with it, because I'm surprised that in the next page, I guess it shows as an option. I wish I knew what it says there. So I'm just disappointed that they didn't cover that. Of course, there's a lot of line art here, panel lining, I mean. And then, of course, you see the final result. Alright, let's get started. Okay, again, I'd like to apologize for the fact that I'm not recording the airbrushing because, again, time is of the essence. But what I did was I began airbrushing some of the parts, and I remembered the mistake that I did with Destiny, where I did not paint the darker parts. And you could pretty much see it in my previous, in the slideshow, where the charcoal parts look plastically, had that plastic look to it, but it doesn't have that painted look to it. So I said, I gotta do it with this one. I did not know which paint to use. I had a couple of charcoal colors, but then I realized I had gunmetal, and gunmetal looks great. It's like, it gave it that metallic finish over it. Yeah, I think I have a better example right here with that hand. It's a lot better than if I would have used charcoal. So I progressively did it on all the parts, just one pass. I didn't prime it, but I did sand it down and get that out of the way. So these parts are done. The next parts you see here are the chrome silver. These came out well. I had to actually airbrush another part because it didn't actually come out right. And the one thing about chrome is that it's a perfect primer for some unknown reason. You could spray it so many times and it doesn't deviate on its look. But the reason why I want to show you this is now I need to move on to the most important part. The head. There we go. Let's zoom in on this. Now then, this is the one part that's going to give me a bit of a trouble. Here is the part that has to be painted blue. Not only this part, but there should be another part here. I think it was this one right here, but I may be wrong. No, I think it's, let's see, this part right here. This part has to be painted blue as well. I was now going to move on to something that I did not want to do, and that would be me painting it normally with a paintbrush. And I have a series of paintbrushes that are pretty good for this, and that'll help me out. But right now I'm in the process of airbrushing the blue parts, and I have a little bit of paint left, and I want to try to airbrush it these parts. To do this, I'm fidgeting around looking for my, oh, here it is. Using Tamiya's masking tape, I'm going to cut some parts off and apply it on the areas where I know I am not going to airbrush. Where's my knife? There is my knife. There she goes. So I'm just going to cut some parts off. Oh, this is going to be really, really tight. I never think this was going to work. Give me a minute. I'm gonna pause this and just give me a minute to apply this. So as you can see over here, I have applied some. There you go. I applied some tape in the areas where I know I'm going to paint, and with the airbrush that I have, I can precisionally airbrush this part. Hopefully I'm doing it very steady, and we'll see what the outcome is. So this is what it will look like without the airbrush, and here is what it looks like after airbrushing. Let's see. If I remove the tape that was covering it. Look at that. As you can see, some of the blue bleeded on to the chrome. That's a quick fix. That's an easy one, since the chrome applies very well. And other than this one right here, actually let me remove it, which is the back head of the Quanta. Remove the excess part, the excess paint tape. That came out good as well. Very good. Alright, so far we're right on schedule. Now, some of the blue has been giving me a bit of a pain. Here are the blue parts. Here are the blue shoulders, which came out good. Came out pretty good. The one thing that I think I overdid was this. This one is a little bit more saturated. I'm going to even it out with all these other parts when I give it a good pass of the pearl clear. As you can see, of course, this is. I don't feel like redoing this again just to even it out with these guys. So to compensate, I'm going to attempt to use my pearl clear on this to give it that shine, so that way it evens out. So let's hope this works. As you can see, the blue came out really nice, and giving it a nice coat of clear pearl, it has a very unique shine. Didn't need that much paint for the red, considering the fact there's only 4 parts and there's only 1 part yellow. And I have to look at that manual again, because I'm shocked. I'm very shocked at the fact that this kit has very, very, very little yellow in it. Where the hell did I put that manual? Alright, that's alright. We'll look it up until later. So pretty much I covered everything here. The one thing that I am going to do manually at this moment, because I decided to put away my airbrush, and I didn't realize that I forgot one piece that needs to be painted. That happens to be this, the shield, or the armor of the shield. As you can see, I covered it up with Tamiya's masking tape, because this part in the manual, and I gotta find it, so give me a second.